same comp, you actually see a comp change, a team change right there on the side of Moist Bread. They are now playing with Newt. Their sub is now subbed out for the rest of this tournament. So Southern Lights might have a definite... Ooh. No, they are going to go 3 down, and it looks like Moist Bread is actually going to make something happen early right here. The Slosh is going to try to come in up top and make a stop right here, but not before it's pushed all the way to 20. Chica Sam almost getting another kill right there, and they do get another unrelated kill, possibly stopping push right there, pushing back in, but no, Young Odds is going to come out with that Splat Charger and get a nice snipe right there. Almost died.
Yeah, so Moist Bread is going to go ahead and have that early lead at their advantage. And Southern Lights is going to be forced to have some kind of response here. 3 down finally for Moist Bread is going to give Southern Lights a little bit of breathing room here. So we'll see what Southern Lights can do as far as gaining some map control. 1 does go down there. Hopefully they'll have a couple more specials come online, which will allow them to push forward. But Chica Sam is going to go ahead and call out 2 there and get picks. So it doesn't quite look like that this push for Southern Lights is going to go much of anywhere, and indeed there it stops for the moment.
Yeah, and you know, Southern Lights, they are a more passive team in general. Maybe Rainmaker is not their best mode. Moist Bread, I am expecting they might take this one overall. Newt right there, strangely enough, once again is the one to pick up the Rainmaker. So now they have no counter rate, so they will go down and their push is going to be stopped right there. Not the greatest of decisions. Once again, really needs to play a little bit more patient, understand somebody else on their team needs to pick it up. Young Odds is going to go ahead and pick up the Rainmaker this time, once again disabling their team's ability to have a Stingray in Rainmaker. They're going to get 1 pick on the right box that might make an opening, but the Ray is going to come out, and it might... No! The Ray is going to go down, so this push might be Southern Lights' way to get the lead, but unfortunately for them, that does not happen.
Yeah, so Southern Lights there tried for a little bit to make something happen, but unfortunately they are going to go 2 down in that situation, and Moist Bread is going to go ahead and get the rest of this area around the Rainmaker set. They're going to let the Rainmaker reset itself as they're looking to continue their defense, but you know, here we have Southern Lights just going to go ahead and pop the Rainmaker again, try to make something happen as they continue to push forward.
Yeah, and an early Ray, and once again, in response, a Ray that didn't need to happen. You know, they're not pushing with anything else right now. Everybody else on the team just went down. Now they don't have a Ray to stop this push. Young Odds may go down here. They need to get out. They do go down. This is going to be Southern Lights really their chance to make things happen. Unfortunately for them, they were not that fast. So for them, Moist Bread is able to push back in. So now they have to fight the hard way. That's going to give Moist Bread time to charge up an actual Ray to stop this push. The hammer does come out, but it's not quite enough. Lelam does dodge the Slosher and is able to pick out the Zap. Unfortunately for them, that's not quite enough. The Rainmaker does go down. Southern Lights can't get out, and they're just being outslayed right now, and they're not taking advantage of the situations that they have created.
Yeah, so Moist Bread here, looking to, or you know, they're definitely playing a little more conservative. They know they don't really need to push forward a whole bunch here, but they are going to try to stall out the members of Southern Lights with pushes forward when applicable. Sogo here going to go ahead and try to get some paint control towards this base, try to create a path for the Rainmaker, but unfortunately isn't going to be able to stay alive for long enough to do so. That's a 2-down situation now for Southern Lights, and this might be the end of another push. As a matter of fact, 3-down situation, and indeed it will be the end of another push. Moist Bread doing an excellent job overall of just really controlling their side of the map and not letting the members, or playing the good defensive game.
Absolutely, and you know, this is not Southern Lights' forte. You know, Rainmaker isn't a passive team's mode, and likewise, you know, if you're down and you're a fairly passive team, tends to wait and punish mistakes and you know, do stuff like that, and you're slow to make things happen. This is an uphill battle for you that statistically you're just not going to win. Chica Sam pick up the Rainmaker. Maybe that was not the best decision to do at that moment. The hammer is going to go out. The pop is going to kill them first, though. They're going to get 2 down, and they're going to go down to a well-placed bomb right there. But that is going to be game for Southern Lights. They do go down. They really just didn't get much of a really strong push off.
Yeah, unfortunately, the members, unfortunately for Southern Lights, the members of Moist Bread did do an excellent job there of just making sure they had all of their bases covered, and like I said, just really showed strong defense for that game. So we'll see here. Heading on next to Clam Blitz on Humpback Pump Track. What do you expect to see from these teams?
Well, this actually might be a mode where Southern Lights is going to be a bit stronger once again. Frankly, they can play the passive game and they can punish mistakes. If you're trying to overextend, trying to make something happen in Clam Blitz, you're trying to speed up the mode as much as you can and speed up the match as much as you can. Sometimes you're doing a little bit too much, and I feel like that actually might be Southern Lights. It might be their way of really winning this match. They can get that one massive push off, and that might be all they need. This map, really, it's not. I mean, you see a decent amount of KOs on this map. You see a decent amount of large pushes on this map. It's not too difficult to get to the basket. You don't have to go a particularly long way, but the aggression still might be useful on this map if they can manage to work down the street and work multiple angles of pressure and just make sure that Southern Lights is a little bit disoriented, a little bit overwhelmed.
Yeah, so we'll see what both of these teams have to offer heading into Clam Blitz here. Humpback Pump Track being more of an open map, so we'll see what is to come. As the teams are going to go ahead and get set for this next match.
Humpback Pump Track is a map where you don't have to make too many things happen at once to make things happen. You don't have to get over aggressive to make things happen. You can be passive. You can wait. You can wait for opportunities and wait for mistakes and wait for openings to make things happen. A lot more on this map than, say, some others. You see mid is being rushed a little bit harder by Moist Bread. They immediately put some pressure on the backline. That seems to be their plan going forward, because they know that having that backline there is going to allow Southern Lights to really hold the middle of this map and really just wait out for whatever mistakes that they might make. A nice double right there by Chica Sam that might open things up. A jump out right there, so an effective 3 down. The Charger's still alive, though. That snipe is going to effectively stop things, at the very least slow them down and get their team right back in this. So Moist Bread down but not out.
Yeah, definitely here. We do have 2 specials now online for Southern Lights to try to hopefully defend, maybe get a little bit more map control. 3-down situation there for Moist Bread might allow them to push up, but unfortunately they just don't have a power claim ready at the moment. That Heavy Splatling remix is going to go ahead and get a pick before going down. And I really think we're in much of a neutral situation here between these 2 teams.
Absolutely. I feel like we're going to see an awful lot of that during this match. The Heavy Splatling just getting a little bit too close to the edge right there. Getting a little too close to the edge is a kind of feeding in and of itself. A lot of players, especially inexperienced ones, don't really know that or don't really act on that. But if you're a backliner especially, don't get too close to the edge when you're trying to stop a push or push back in, or you're going to die. Maybe you'll get a trade. But as you saw, they did get a trade, but they still did go down.
Yeah. So again, scoreless here. About 2 minutes into this game, of course, as I say that, Moist Bread just goes ahead and scores. They are going to get a couple of extra claims in here. Chris, looking for the pick on the Kenza undercover, will get a couple more claims in, and that is going to be a 3-down situation there for the members of Southern Lights. So we'll see. Actually, Moist Bread just going to continue extending their lead. Finally, going to go 3 down. And now Southern Lights is going to be forced to make a response here.
Absolutely. Southern Lights, they have to make things happen. Look, they're a more passive team in general. They're not the most aggressive team out there. They know this. But at this point, what they're really doing is they're not putting on any sort of pressure whatsoever. So they're not doing a whole lot. Even during this push, that burst bomb rush, not really doing a whole lot, not doing a lot of pressure. They do get a trade out of the backline because the backline pushes up too close to the ledge, but the team is going to go down, so it's not going to hurt Moist Bread too much. They just have to take back this map and try to make sure, all right, look, this is a neutral game. Once again, we have to make sure that we have clam control, and we have to make sure that we have map control.
Yeah, so unfortunately, they're not quite going to be enough for the members of Southern Lights, but we'll see if they can respond. They're actually a 3-down situation now.
Oh!
Now a 3-down situation the other way with that Bob, doing a little bit of a taunt there. But that's going to be a wipe situation now onto Moist Bread. And so, sorry, that's going to be a wipe situation onto Southern Bread. Going to have another opportunity here to try to push forward if they so choose to take it.
Absolutely, and a nice double right there. Playing a little bit classy, no taunts back. He is going to go ahead and get a power clam in and pop a baller and possibly get a pick out of it. No, his teammate goes ahead and gets a unfortunately. Oh, it looks like he is able to get one more. The team is able to come in and get the lead. Southern Lights is able to make something happen. You know, you did mention that taunting earlier. Taunting in competitive Splatoon it's a strategy that you use. It's a strategy that you use to try to do something that you can to make sure that your opponents aren't playing at their best. You know, make them tilted, make them a little bit upset.
Squidbagging coming out there from Young Odds as well.
And
gonna try to go for the knockout here, but not quite gonna be enough to take it. Actually, there was one other member there, and they are able to throw in that last clam. So Southern Lights is gonna take that game and tie up the set.
You know, I said no taunt back, but, you know, there was a taunt back, and they KO'd it with the ultimate taunt. Just make sure you win the match, and they can't do anything to taunt you back. You can't do anything. That was classic taunting in Splatoon. Yeah,
so we'll see here what both of these teams have to offer. Maybe we'll see a little more taunting back and forth, but, you know, these teams obviously know each other. I'm sure there really aren't any hard feelings going either way, but we now have an effective best of 3. We're going next to Tower Control on Piranha Pit, and you know, I would say arguably right now this is probably one of the more stable Tower Control maps.
Yeah, you know, in any mode, really, Ray is a useful special to have here, a very, very good one to have here. In the meta right now, you see an awful lot of Ray missile. You know, you combine the Rays and missiles together, and as long as the missiles are there, forcing people to move, the Ray can just come in and pick people off and finish people off. And even if those don't get picks, what it does, it creates an opening so massive that the front line can move in and still get those picks regardless. And, you know, you're seeing it a lot in Japan. You're seeing a lot with top teams here in the US. It's not going to change on this map. I feel like whichever team can do that on this map right now is going to be the team to win. I won't be surprised if somebody brings out missiles.
Yeah, so we'll see here heading in to this game. Like I said, effective best of 3 at this point between these two teams. Definitely going to be close matches either way. The winner of this, of course, going on to face Palm Trees in losers finals. So we'll see what is to come out of the remainder of this set between these two teams. Maybe we'll see a little more taunting, make things a little more interesting. Who knows?
All right, and you do see the new Slosher coming out on the side of Southern Lights. So an interesting take right there. Effectively, they're trying to abuse the different changes in elevation right there. Chica-san with the range blaster, just making sure that the Slosher can't get anywhere close to the ledge, but maybe biting off a little bit more than they can chew. Soko gonna come in with the Slosher and get a nice double, and that is a full team wipe. And it looks like Southern Lights is really going to open things up right now. They have special advantage. One down still on the side of Moist Bread.
Yeah, so we'll see here for how long that Southern Lights can keep these members of Moist Bread away. But that Stingray is going to come out and take the members on the tower. Counter Ray going to come right back at them, though, is having difficulty finding Newt here on the back line. But tower is going to go ahead and reset to middle as the members of Southern Lights there didn't really feel like really continuing that push, but both teams still trying to look for an advantage here.
Absolutely, and that's going to be 2 down on the side of Moist Bread. Make that 3, so their push that they could have gotten off right there had they won that exchange is going to be stopped in its tracks. Now it's up to Southern Lights. They have to just make sure they have map control. These specials are going to come out, force people out of position. This range blaster could actually kill this Inkjet right here, but not before it gets a pick. The Dooley's going ahead and saving the day right all the way down to 62, however. And going down is Chris, so the push is not dead. Southern Lights can actually still make things happen here.
Yeah, so hopefully here we'll see some more interesting plays as the members of Moist Bread try to take care of these members of Southern Lights to get a push going of their own. Southern Lights has only cleared 1 checkpoint so far, so the game could still very much go either way. We'll see here what is left in store now. Moist Bread going to go ahead, hop on the tower, try to get something going here. And they are going to go ahead and clear this first checkpoint, as a matter of fact.
Absolutely. That early Ray, however, may have stopped the team from being able to get as large a push as they would have otherwise hoped. The range blaster is going to be pretty big here. May be able to take out the charger, and that's absolutely massive. They don't need an early Ray, so this Ray is not early anymore. Cheek and Sam is going to have to avoid that missile, pushes it all the way down, all the way to 45, past 45 to 44. They're trying to get just a little more points on the board. That is going to be 3 down, however, on the side of Moist Bread. Ooh, a nice direct right there by Chica.
Yeah, Chica and Sam just going to try to stay alive for as long as possible, but let their other members here of Moist Bread respawn and get back into the center of the map to try to stop anything else that Southern Lights wants to do. But now Southern Lights in a situation where they're going to be forced to, apply some pressure here onto this tower. But Chica Sam still doing an impressive job of holding those members of Southern Lights back.
Yeah, absolutely. Just waiting on those missiles, waiting because they were waiting on the Ray. Those missiles do come out when the Ray comes out, and that's actually well put together. That's exactly how it should be rehearsed and exactly how it should be played. The team is able to push the objective all the way past 30 now. They might get a KO here. It's going to be so difficult to push back in. Another pick on the back line of Southern Lights. Another direct by Chica. Chica having the match of his life, gets rid of the armor on Soko, but Soko is able to stop things just long enough to maybe stall things. The Ray comes out from Newt, and that might get another pick right there. Tower is not going to be pressured, and that might be KO if they can get to it.
Doesn't fully look like they're in the position to clear this checkpoint right now. Looks like they're going to opt to back away and maybe try to get a couple of picks once they reset. But Soko actually going to go ahead and call out this heavy splatling here. But all the meanwhile, that tower is resetting back to neutral, which favors Southern Lights. And, Southern Lights is just having a really difficult time dealing with Chica on these pushes.
Absolutely. And the fact that, Moist Bread, they have a backline that is not positioning well right now. They're especially positioning poorly when they overextend. That burst bomb rush isn't going to do anything. They're going to die immediately. Chica once again on the Ray coming out. The counter Ray, however, there to stop it.
Yeah, so looks like a lot of ink being exchanged either way, but the members of Moist Bread here are going to continue pushing this tower forward. Probably, their logic here probably is to just, extend the amount of time total that if Southern Lights wants to try to make this last-minute overtime push, that they're really going to long way. Sure enough, they're going to go ahead and hop on the tower, but, it's really difficult here to make overtime pushes, especially when you have to clear almost 2 full checkpoints. Unfortunately, that is going to be game as Chica goes ahead to hop on the tower. So Moist Bread is going to go up 2-1 in.
Absolutely. They are 1 win away from carrying on in this tournament. Likewise, if you're Southern Lights, you're saying, all right, we outslayed them, but frankly, we lost our Ray when we needed it. What happened there was their backline had an awful match. Their backline was picked off by the range blaster, trying to bite off more than he could chew several times during that match. And, without a backline, the rest of the team really can't do an awful lot to push back in on that map and play defense. And you just saw as that objective, that tower was just pushed just a little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further, and before you knew it, it was a excited match, and they really couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, so great stuff to see there from Moist Bread. Hopping on next, we're going to see Splat Zones on Kelp Dome. So what do you kind of expect to see out of this match?
Well, I'm going to be honest, this might be the match where instead of the Charger shining, this is going to be the map where Newt, who has been actually a little bit over-aggressive all set, this is where he can get aggressive if he plays smart and he just doesn't take unnecessary risks. You know, you always have to take risks in-game, but it's very hard to position poorly as a Splatling on this map. And Newt probably knows this. As long as Newt holds down that great area, they're going to be able to get some sort of push off.
Yeah, so we'll see here what each of these teams has to offer coming up on Splat Zones. Should be interesting either way. And we'll see what happens coming up in this Game 4 between these two teams.
All right, and we do see the Splatling coming out on both sides. You know, I have to admit, in that matchup, Newt, I think, is going to have the upper hand. Newt specializes in Splatlings, whereas Young Odds, it's secondary weapon. They play it because they play Charger and they play backline. They play those Ray weapons. One is going to go down on the side of Moist Bread. Make that 2. Newt, however, still holding down that top mid area. He is unchallenged. So effectively, not a whole lot is going to happen until he falls.
Yeah, so we'll see here as here we have Southern Lights going to go ahead, take a cap of the zone early. You know, members of Moist Bread are going to go ahead and go 3 down again. So Southern Lights probably going to go ahead and cap and further extend their lead a little bit.
You see Happy there. You know, Happy knows the Splatling is there. The Splatling will win. So frankly, you just wait it out and play patiently. The Splatling isn't going to approach you first either. The one thing you do not want to do on this map is come over the drop right there. You will almost always die. You will almost always feed.
So here we have Chris going to try to search for a couple of picks here to open up this zone, but unfortunately isn't quite going to be able to do that. And the defense, or really the push holds here for Southern Lights as Moist Bread is just having a difficult time trying to get into the...
Absolutely, you know, they have one last push to make something happen here. They have 2 down. They actually make 2 go down on Moist Bread. Oh, but that pick it might have won them the game. Southern Light, actually, no, they have nobody left in zone. They're able to make things happen just in time.
3 down situation there for Southern Lights is going to allow Moist Bread to come back in, allow that penalty to be set, and hopefully that'll allow them to build a little bit more of the momentum that we just saw, much like last game. Chica I'm going to try to come in with this Cherry H3.
Oh, gets a pick out of it. Chris is going to have to fall back. The wall does come out, though. They're going to try to push over the drop right there. But that's not where you want to be pushing from on this map in general. You're fighting an uphill battle, essentially. And Chica's play patiently, wait for them to feed in one at a time. This is looking really, really bad for Southern Lights right now. The wall is going to stop them whichever way they go. Do anything. The Inkjet coming out a little bit too late.
Lots of specials there coming in on the zone for Southern Lights. Let's see if they can cap it. 1 down on both sides. That Booyah Bomb is going to come in, though.
It's going to come out and get a double.
Is going to come out, get a double, and so Moist Bread is going to continue this push, and honestly, that is probably going to be game here, as I don't think the members of Southern Lights have enough time to get back in, and that will indeed be the game. Moist Bread going to go ahead and take this set in losers semifinals 3-1 over Southern Lights, and is going to go ahead and play Palm Trees in losers finals.
Absolutely.